Hello everyone, how are we getting on? So today, or this evening in fact, I've come out for just a short little walk at a place called Gravetye Manor, which is in West Sussex, just down the road from where I live. And it was a walk. I've never actually done this one before, but it's been recommended to me by friends a few times, and I thought I'd come and give it a little go this evening. It's Sunday evening, and the the weather's quite nice. In fact, this weekend it's the only, because it's a bank holiday weekend, it's the only, so I've just got to check my map, the only day that we're meant to be getting any decent weather, because tomorrow it's very cloudy and overcast, so I'm going to try and get out still. Today would be this evening is the only evening where I'm going to get any decent sunlight. So I've come here because I'm aiming for, the walk takes me out and around. Sorry, I'll put that on your screens now, the QR code for this walk if you want to come and find it. It's easy to Google. But I've come here because it takes me to the Gravetye Lower Lake, which I've never visited, as I've just said, but I've seen pictures online and it looks quite nice. And I haven't taken any pictures by water or using water for a little while now, so I thought, because where I live, most places that are lakes, bodies of water, it's all sort of behind lock and key and that sort of thing. So I just don't have many opportunities to take those sorts of pictures. So I thought I'd come and give it a try. And just a short evening walk. It's about 3 miles long. I believe it's really nice and pretty, so I'm told by other people. Though I may well be wrong, but I very much doubt it. And also it's a new camera day. God, I can't speak. Sorry, a new camera day for me today. I bought last week. I treated myself to a Canon R6 second hand, but the thing is absolutely pristine. It's virtually brand new, and I haven't really had chance. I've played about with a bit of work and at home, but I haven't had chance as yet to come out and do what I love to do, which is landscape photography, and take some pictures of it and put it to the test. So that's what I'm going to do this evening. I've got a few types of pictures in mind that I want to get to test some of the functions out in the camera. The first one being sort of tight, or what I will make a tightly cropped woodland shot, because I want to test to see if the drop in megapixels, which I'll get, which I haven't mentioned actually, from the 5D Mark IV that I had before, which was a 30 megapixel camera. The R6 is actually 20 megapixels. I say megapixels, I don't know, it's megapixels, sorry, and I want to test to see if that drop of 10 megapixels will bother me or not, with a particular type of crop that I like to do, which is a panorama style crop, 24 by 65 I think it is. And I just want to know if that will be much of a bother. I have a feeling it won't, with my, what would you call it, my means of use, where I share things, which is on social media and on YouTube. I don't really think a drop from 30 to 20 megapixels is gonna bother me too much. But you don't know until you try or test these things. So I'm going to find a sort of intimate woodland shot that I can take to see if it bothers me or not. I really don't think it will. But I'm umming because I'm trying to think of what I wanted to say. And also the bonus to the less megapixels is the fact that my file sorry, I can't speak. My file sizes my file sizes will be smaller, which will speed up my computer and also eat up less memory space on my computer as well. So I'm hoping it'll work out that that's absolutely fine and it doesn't bother me, and that that'll be all right. And my suspicion is that it will be fine. So we shall see. And then after that, because I like to focus stack a lot inside the R6, and I'll talk about that more in a minute, there is a focus stacking function within it, and I'm interested to see how that works. And then after that, the other bonus to having less megapixels is that the pixels that I do have are bigger on the screen, because you see my old 5D Mark IV and the Canon R6, they share the same size sensor. And so what that means is that whereas I had 30 megapixels, 30 million pixels I think that is, being crammed in onto the same size sensor, I now have 20 million, or 20 megapixels, and therefore my pixels are larger, which should mean that so I read that it improves the dynamic range of my camera. But that I'm not too sure if I really know about that or not, so I can't remember if I've experienced that in the past, but it's what I read. It makes sense to me, it's logical. You get better low light performance because you get less noise, and this face track's not working very well, and less noise, and the colours come through better apparently. So yeah, you don't know until you try these things out there. So I'm going to take a little wander around and get myself, because I've come out of sunset, sorry I didn't mention that. Come out for sunset to take a picture of the lake at sunset and see what the dynamic range is like, or the low light performance is like on that. So I'm going to go and take a wander and find, I can't speak tonight, sorry. I'm going to take a wander and set up my first shot, and I'll get you guys up with me behind camera when I do. So I'll speak to you in a little bit. Okay, right, I found my first picture here. In fact, I want to go that way a little bit. Now, it's nothing like amazing, obviously, but it intrigues me because this will give me the test that I want to try out on the camera, so that I can do a shot. I see like Adam Gibbs and people like that do it quite a bit, and I quite like the shot. And I find this interesting because it's a sort of almost like an intimate woodland scene, but it's one that I plan to trim down if possible. Well, to test to see if the megapixels is going to bother me too much with regards to. So let me get that right. Yeah, with cropping in. So because my sensor is a 3x2 sensor, so that's its aspect ratio, that's its crop. Its crop factor, I think that's known as. And I like to, a lot of the time, I like to trim in to like a panoramic type of crop. So it'll be, what did I say, it was 24x65 or 64x24? I think it's 24x65, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But obviously when you do that, when you crop in, the problem you get is that, I'm just going to turn that around. Yeah, is that when you crop in, so I had to turn that around then because I'm not used to not being able to see myself speak, or on the screen as I talk. Yeah, when you crop in, going back to the megapixels, is that obviously you lose megapixels, you lose quality in the image. I spoke about this a few weeks back when I done the panoramic stitch crop thingamajig at the Ashdown Forest. Yeah, you lose an amount of detail and quality to the image as you crop in. Now, when I was on the 5D Mark IV, that's 30 megapixels, it wasn't such a big deal. So cropping in from 3x2 down to 24x65, or 65x24, the image quality loss wasn't as obvious. But now I'm on 20 megapixels with the R6. I'm intrigued to see whether it will bother me or not. Now it may well do like pixel peeping, so going in at 100% zoom on the picture, but for sharing it on social media channels and sharing it on YouTube, as I was saying a moment ago, I don't think it'd be that much of a bigger deal, I hope. But yeah, you don't know. Unfortunately, on the back of my camera, I do have different aspect ratios that I can crop to. Well, I just turned that off. I have new camera and I don't know what I'm doing. On the back of my camera, I don't have the option to choose a 24:65 aspect ratio. I only have like 16:9, 4:3, 1:1, yada 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 yada. But so I'll have to crop this when I get back, and you guys won't see it now. But I'll upload that once I've taken this image. But yeah, it'd just be interesting to see what it's like. I mean, I like the camera already. I know that from the little playing about with it that I have done, and I'm just intrigued to see if this is going to be a hindrance to me or not. But I don't think it will be. Now, this image, there isn't a great deal going on in this. It's just a simple sort of woodland scene. Not sorry, I'm just getting myself in the right camera functions. Yeah, it's not like the most amazing image ever. It's just a test, because I know shooting this close up to a scene or to a tree will allow me to be able to do what I want to do, which is to dodge and burn, and to do that panorama crop and yeah, test out the camera. So I've waffled on enough of that. I'm going to take this photo and do my little bits that I do in Photoshop in Lightroom, and once I've done that, I'll upload it onto your screens. Now, at the end, I may do a little rundown, but I'll see how long this video goes on for. But otherwise, I'll just upload it onto your screen, and you guys, if you watch, comment and see what you think. Do you notice much loss in detail and in quality of the image on a less megapixel camera? I don't know, but yeah, anyway, thank you very much. I shall upload that onto your screen and I'll stop waffling on. I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, so I found my next picture, and this is one where I can test the focus stacking function that's inside this camera, as I was discussing before. It's an alright photo. It's not too bad. It's not the most amazing photo in the world. I'm not quite getting the light I was hoping for, as the clouds of well, they're just in the way at the moment. You see, there's a bit of break up there, but I think by the time they've shifted over, the sun's going to have gone down beyond the horizon. And not going to be able to let much light in and onto this scene, but it doesn't matter. I'm just out testing the camera today to see how well it works. So I'm just setting it up now. It'll come on. Pretty much all I'm using is there's this sawn off stump of a tree and its root leading up to it, and I'm just using that as a strong foreground subject, which then leads on and off and into to the lake beyond. I've stuck a polarizer on to take some of the reflection off, but it's not working particularly well. That's another purchase I want to make, is to get some better filters for my camera, but not just yet, because this thing cost me a few quid, so I'm not going to be able to afford it just yet. So pretty much just to set up this. Now, what I would usually do, and I haven't got you guys behind here, but I'll take some bits of B-roll for you to see it, is I would focus on the foreground, take a shot, focus on the midground, take a shot, focus in the distance and take a shot. But this camera has a function inside of it where it's called focus bracketing, where it does that for you. So on it, you go into the menu, and that's number 5 in the red section. And at the back there, you'll see focus bracketing. Switch that to enable. And then on that, you can pick, the first thing you pick is the amount of shots you want to take, so the amount of images you want to take that you'll stack together later on. Then it's the next bit is the focus increment. So my understanding is that that's the distance, the focus distance that each shot's taken at going through the scene. So I don't really know. I'm going to do two here now. I'm not going to go through that with you guys because it's going too long, but I'm going to do one at 4, and then the next one. So I'm going to take, sorry, going back, I'm going to take 7 shots, and the first increment I'm going to do is 4. I don't really know what distance that is for, but that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try another group then at about 6, and I'll take them back and compare, and I'll put on the screen when I've done that which one it was that I went for, because I'll be interested to see how each one works. And then there's something called exposure smoothing, which I believe is it counteracts the light changes whilst each image is taken, but I'm not going to bother with that. So what I'll do, I'll come back out of this menu setting, that's set, and I'll focus on the foreground. I'm going to shoot this at f11, just so I know it gives me the, sorry, my knees again. I've really got to stop doing these low down shots. I'm going to try and sit. Yeah, I've got to stop doing these low down shots because my knees cannot handle it. Yeah, I'm going to go at f11 just so I know that I get the widest depth of field whilst maintaining the best acceptable sharpness through the scene. Because I had noticed recently on a few of the pictures I've been taking where I've done it at like f8, I slightly missed focus. So whereas I was only taking 3 shots through the scene at different focus lengths, when I'll go to blend them together, the overlap, if you will, was slightly soft. So I'd obviously missed focus basically. In doing f8 and taking 3 shots for a particular scene, it wasn't enough depth of field, or I hadn't taken enough shots at different focal points. So increments, as this is saying. But this is saying 7. So I'm going to try that at f9, at f11, sorry, and I'm going to see what that comes out like. And as I said, I'm going to try another one at different increments, but I won't film me doing it. But literally all you do, I've got a 2-second timer on, so I'll click it on and that's it. It takes those 7 shots for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's done. So it's quite clever. I'm intrigued to see how that turns out. Whether that's giving me the depth of field I require on the focus stack. Looking at the back of the camera now, it seems like it has, but I don't know. And I'm going to have to take 1 for this image, exposing for the highlights in the sky, because I'm clipping on that sky at the minute, so I will take 1 out there just to expose for the sky, and I'll blend that in later on. Clicking the wrong button. So I can maintain that detail in the sky and blend that later on. And then I'll do my usual thing, although I realise I'm about to take 7 shots. Whoops, turn that off. It's just taking 7 shots on my hand at different focal points. Anyway, I'll bookmark that, and then that'll, then I know where I'm at later on. So I'm going to try a couple of different ways of doing this at different increments, and I shall see how they come out when I get back later on. And what I'll do, I'll put it up on your screen now, and I'll add a little thing to tell you what settings and what increments I'd used, so that you guys know yourselves. So yeah, thank you very much. I'll put that on your screen now, guys, and I'm going to stand up for a bit and stretch out my knees because I'm getting old. Yeah, so a little confession. I thought I'd recorded a segment for this section. It turns out I forgot to push record on the camera. So I stood there for 5 minutes like a prat, talking to nothing and recording nothing. And I didn't realise this until I got back, so that's a lesson learned. Pretty much here, it was just a case I wanted to test the sort of low light performance and the dynamic range of the R6. So I picked a scene that had a lot of shadow, a lot of shade on one side and was bright on the other side. So hence the sky on the right hand side, the trees and the path on the left, just to test to see what that shadow performance would be like, if you will. But I won't go on too long. As you can see from the photo in a minute, it came out quite well, I thought, and I'm more than happy with it. This R6 is certainly certainly a camera that I'm happy with and I'm going to be using going forward. So yeah, that's that. So I'll just say thank you very much everyone for watching. It's much appreciated if you've got this far as well. And a tiny little beg as always, if you can like and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. But if not, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so I'll catch you guys next time. I hope you have a nice weekend or day or evening or morning or whatever it is that you're doing. I'll catch you later on.